We didn't do a good job attacking it. We obviously worked on it today, and we'll work on it some tomorrow, and we got to do better.
Is their base starting Ty like that? What can you guys do to get him either going with the ball or make him more of a weapon away from the play?
We've got to get him the ball. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do, but we got to do better. And part of it is he's got to be in the fight too.
You talked a lot about you've gone against zones this year. You've had success against a lot of them. Just what makes a 3-2 a different challenge? Just obviously you're dealing with more length up top. But how does seeing a 3-2 versus a 2-3 change what you're dealing with to create a different challenge?
Yeah, it's a different look. They got bigger guys at the top. We've just got to attack it better.
Have you guys faced a defense like this against Haliburton before in the past, or is it just because of playoff it's more noticeable?
Yeah, we've seen everything with him. I mean, for the last 3 years, really more the last 2 years as we've gotten better. But we've got to respond.
On the flip side of that, back-to-back 40-point games for Mitchell. Is that an area where you look to throw more guys at him? Obviously, it creates other openings potentially. Like, is that something you just have to live with? Or?
Everything's on the table. Living with consecutive 40-point games is not something we're looking to do. So, we've had multiple guys guard him. We'll continue to do that. He's a great player. We got to make it hard on him.
How do you guys get Pascal more involved? Is getting Pascal more involved, or is the shot facility a priority? Just low-scoring games the last 2 games for him.
I mean, getting stops and rebounds would be a big help for our entire offense. The rebound margin, the points off turnovers, it was like 31-9. 18 offensive rebounds is 18 opportunities for us to rebound the ball and get in transition. And so, credit them. They're attacking the offensive boards, but we've got to do a better job of blockouts and retrieving the ball. Pretty simple.
The nights after playoff losses, the word's not easier, but because you've been in this so long, do you kind of automatically kind of know what you're looking for when you start looking at the whys of a game?
Well, listen, we just watched the film, and one of the things I said to the guys is, this situation is hard. This situation is hard. This situation is hard. That's why they're not pulling people off the street to play and coach in the second round of the NBA playoffs. So, hard things are hard. And so we've got to rise to a lot of these challenges. And it's not easy. You won't play this time of year. You got to be ready for some difficult times. And so, we've got to bounce back the right way. We got to have the right mindset, and we've got to have the right attitude.
Throughout, how can you be better against it?
I think we're just stagnant. I don't think we didn't attack it with enough force, and it's something we haven't seen before.
I guess how different is the challenge from you see more 2-3 than you see a 3-2, like more or less. Like what makes it a different challenge? What makes it something that takes getting used to when you're used to seeing it flipped?
Again, I think they just tried to slow the game down. It presented its challenges, but I think we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. Like we didn't attack it with enough force. There are definitely spots that are available in the zone. And again, you can't sit there and just kind of wait for stuff to happen. You got to make it happen.
How do you guys slow down Donovan?
He's gonna shoot the ball 30 times a game. You know what I mean? It's just get to the free throw line. It's not so much a factor of slowing him down is one way of putting it. I think you just gotta make it harder on him. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna get to his shots, he's gonna get to his spots, but just keep throwing different looks at him.
How is it a different game, offense, defense on the glass, what happens out there? And what's the kind of getting used to this next thing?
mean, it's a box set effect, but if you watch the film, it's really their guards and their guys crashing from the perimeter. You know, they're coming in 100 miles per hour, making contact. So obviously, it presents us challenges. You know, having another 7-footer out there, but I think it's gonna, for the most part, it's a 5-man box out.
Just have you seen Tyrese guarded, sort of face guarded this heavily before?
All
Just kind
season.
of what things do you do to help him get the ball?
Make contact, screen for him in the backcourt, in the half court, just being more intentional about getting him open. But again, it's nothing we haven't seen before.
What do you guys feel like you did or did not do well enough in those 4-on-4 moments created by that throughout the game?
Oh, you talking about when Tyrese is like face guarded? Yeah, they boxed him one a couple times. I mean, again, we've seen that a couple times this season. I think you kind of sit there again, kind of waiting for stuff to happen as opposed to making it happen, or trying to get him the ball as opposed to going down there and scoring. So I mean, again, I think the word you keep hearing me say is force. You got to attack. You know what they can do with a lot more force.
Uniquely about last night made it a challenge for you.
Yeah, it's just an interesting challenge. You know, just learn how to, counter that. I got to do a better job of keeping myself involved as a screener. Creating chaos, creating movement myself. I think I'm getting the habit of just standing right now, which doesn't help anybody. Plays into what they want. So I got to do a better job screening off the ball, moving without the ball, because they're not helping, and I think I could get other guys open. So watching film, in the last 12 hours, whatever the case may be, I'm seeing a lot, and just figuring out how to counter it the right way.
3-2 similarly unique. I mean, nothing new to you guys besides maybe break us up at the top. Do you think it just took you guys out of your game? Why was it so challenging for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic, right? A lot of teams don't play it 3-2, and they don't play it with a 7-footer at the top, so we just got to figure out how to go at it. We walked over some stuff, and we saw some stuff through the course of the game that we feel comfortable with, but it's just to slow us down. That's what zones are, to slow us down. Did a good job of that, but we see a lot of opportunities for us to attack it, so just got to take advantage of those and just be better over the course of 48 minutes, because we know we're going to see it. We're going to see, that's their recipe. That's the winning formula after the winning last night. So we know what we're going to see from them defensively. So just got to counter it the right way.
Just 4 points. So it's your first home playoff loss. How are you feeling after a night like that?
Sun came up this morning, it's unfortunate. Didn't have a very good performance last night, but that it's more film for me to look at, more stuff for me to figure out, and it's all part of the process. So understand it's not what I want to see for myself, not what I'm sure anybody wants to see from me. But I'll take it on chin. I'll be better next game.
How much does Mobley just change the game being out there? It seems like a couple of occasions when you really did get downhill, you met him on the way.
Yeah.
He was able to get stuff that not too many people can get. How just his presence out there changed what you were able to do and kind of change your approach?
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't change my approach at all. I think he's a good defender. Made some plays. Kudos to him. I think he's a good defender, but, I think there's still areas for me to be better, that aren't revolving around Evan Mobley. So, I just got to find my openings and just play the right way.
How's your wrist feeling?
It's okay. Yeah.
There was one play where there was a jump ball, and you guys, I think it was big versus small, so you guys were going to win, but Max lined up right next to you, he was basically. Have you ever been almost face guard on a jump ball like that before?
Yeah, it's happened a couple times, and he knows what he's doing. He's doing what he's told. A lot of gimmicks and all that stuff, but it's just part of it. Just got to counter it the right way.
You guys even look to just kind of gave Camp a lot of respect. 6-4 team. You and Rick both were kind of saying that one almost feel like you guys expected them to sort of throw a counter punch like this, and now having that information, how do you sort of take that into a mindset in the game 4? How do you just adjust, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, right? I've told you guys after both Game 1 and Game 2, they're going to respond, And at Game 2, they threw a big punch. We just weathered the storm. Game 3, threw a big punch, start the game. We weathered it in the first quarter, just weren't able to do it through the rest of the game. But this is a team who hasn't lost a ton. They haven't lost 2 games in a row, let alone 3 games in a row in a long time. So, we knew they'd respond. They had a great performance. But we're still in a good spot. If I would have told you a week ago we'd be up 2-1 with a game at home, you would like where we are. So we understand there's areas for us to improve, and I'm sure they feel the same way. But I look forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a good game, and this is a great team, and I think as a competitor, you want to play against the best, and this is the best team in our conference, and we knew they were going to respond the right way, and they did, and so now it's on us to respond the right way.
So we obviously almost always, hear from you after games, whether it's win, whether it's loss, whatever. I guess why not last night? And did anything about last night make it tougher to deal with?
No, I mean, I talk to y'all almost after every game. If I'm not made available, it's not always my decision. So I can't control it. I mean, you're talking to me now, so any question you have about the game last night, you can ask me right now. Just was not made available last night, and I'm sure people wanted to hear what I had to say after last night's game, but I'm here right now to talk to you. So if you want to ask me, more than welcome. More than welcome to. I don't run away from any questions. I've went through harder times than last night, so whatever you have to ask, I'll be there. And if there's commentary around, what if me not talking last night, people are more than allowed to come and approach me and have a conversation with me about it. But can't control everything. But again, I don't run from anything. If you've got questions to ask, I'm right here.